let's look into the retirement world. Now, I know that Justin does a bit of coaching, and we've actually discussed this in depth before, and that coaching isn't really your thing.
No, it's hard for me to think about now. Definitely now, if you ask me, is coaching on the agenda, and it's no.
Yeah.
Justin loves it, but if everyone that knows Justin's temperament knows that he's very calm, very placid, very...
I think he's sleeping right now.
Under control, whereas me, I'm like a million miles a minute. I've got no tolerance or very little tolerance. And I just don't know if I'd make a great coach in that respect. In saying that, I mean, I taught phys ed in high school for 12 years, so I do know how to teach. Yeah, so I think the future for me, apart from doing camps and continuing my work with MacRX, definitely want to get involved with race situations. So whether it be commentating or working at the races.
Yeah. Commentating. You hate a chat.
I'd hate that. It's not really a job for me. I know. I'll probably have to take lessons. Might have to take a course or two. But I definitely want to be involved, and I would love to be involved with pro athletes. So even Heather Furr, who everyone knows works for the WTC, her job as pro liaison, I would love that. I would love to work with the pro athletes and with race directors. And just because I think there's so many pro athletes out there that just need a little guidance.
Yep.
We've spoken about this before, Steph, and I see some of the professional athletes today, and just sometimes some of the things they say or the way they present themselves, it's just they need a little help.
Yep.
Not all of them. There are some out there that are amazing and just get it from the start, but others that they need a little help along the way. And there is no one out there for them. There's no one out there. There's no manual, to teach you how to be a professional athlete, how to get great sponsorship, and what the main thing that professionals need to understand is great sponsorship and getting invited to races and getting paid to come to races isn't just off results. That's one tiny little percentage of it. In fact, half the time it's not even the most important part. People don't care. It's what value as an athlete are you going to give to that particular race or to that sponsor? And race results are just one tiny part of the package. And I think a lot of athletes just don't quite understand that concept quite yet.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I would love to and when I say I don't want to manage athletes, that's not what I'm saying, but just to give some guidance would be great. So, and I've always been a bit of a mother hen. Being here in Bateman's Bay and meeting a lot of the new up-and-coming boys and girls, but mainly boys, because the men's field here is obviously very, very full and full of a lot of the young, early 20s, and they're amazing young men and they're brilliant athletes, and they're not just amazing athletes, but they're delightful young boys. And I know I sound like
you're loving it.
Of course I'm loving it for more reasons than one, says the old bag, having a bit of a perv. But they actually are genuinely lovely boys. And I just love seeing how our sport's grown throughout the 20 years that I've been in it, and especially the last, say, 15 years that I've been a professional athlete, just seeing how much talent is out there now and how our sport's gone from here to here. It's amazing. I love it. So, I definitely want to stay involved in the sport of triathlon. It's a way of life for me now. So there's whatever I do in the future, it will be in triathlon in some shape or form, for sure.
And then if we pop up to Noosa, next year, we're still going to find you out riding, out for a run, everything, right?
Someone said that today, and I was like, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So I will always swim, bike and run. Maybe no crazy 3-hour runs or, 200k bike rides anymore. Although, to tell the truth, I actually genuinely enjoy those. So maybe the 200k rides will still be on the table. But just hanging out with the locals and doing things like in Noosa we have rides every day of the week, and on Tuesdays we have what's called as the World Championship. So that'll be where my competitive rides, and always going back for coffee afterwards, of course. Whereas now I don't always go back for coffee if I've got to run off the bike or if I need to get the next session done. Whereas when I'm not racing anymore, it's compulsory coffee post ride. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
And then you did mumble something about potentially Ultraman, just for a different challenge.
Well, there's a guy I know, Nick Mallett, who's involved, and he was the one that told me that I knew Ultraman was coming to Australia. I had no idea where. And of course, my very, very good friend Hilary Biscay is the Ultraman or Ultrawoman world champion. I think she finished second outright. Crazy, but I have so much respect for her. She's an amazing athlete.
Incredible.
Incredible. And so she, I had a chat to her and said, you won't believe where the first Ultraman in Australia is going to be. And I said, in Noosa. I said, you need to come over and do it. And she's like, well, Belinda, actually, I think my days of Ultraman I've done what I wanted to do. I've become world champion. And then I thought, well, she's not going to do it. I said, would you think about coaching me? So I think she'd still come over and she'll coach me. So I think it's something, typical me, I can't just retire and have nothing. So I have to have some sort of goal or something that I can look forward to. And to tell the truth, Ultraman is not something that I had previously thought about doing. I thought it was for insane people. I still do think it's for insane people. Yeah. I can get my head around every part of Ultraman except for the last day, which is the double marathon, 84k run.
Yeah.
To me, that's still back in my days with Sutto.
Yeah.
Many moons ago. I remember one day he got Hillary and I to run 64 kilometres one morning, and I must admit we got through it pretty easily in the end. But and the reason he got me to do that was to show that anything is possible. Yeah. That you shouldn't put limitations on anything. Yeah. And 64k was doable, but then I think about it's 84k, and it's after 2 days of really hard work. Yeah. So, but again, as with everything, you train properly for it, it's doable. So. Yeah. We'll leave that one a little bit open for now, but seeing as it's in my own backyard, I'll know the whole course, so it'll
just roll out of bed and do an Ultraman.
It will be an interesting prospect.
Excellent. Well, I think it's hard to say exactly what you're going to do once you've retired, because I imagine it's going to be an emotional time as well.
Yeah, it's tough because I thought I was going to be ridiculously emotional last year when I announced my very last challenge, Roth, which was my 10th, and it wasn't. I didn't really cry. I was just too happy. Yeah. So I really thought I was going to be a mess, but I think because I knew it wasn't going to be my last time to Roth, it was just going to be my last time racing. It was just such a joyous occasion. Yeah. And I just had so much fun. And hey, maybe I haven't really thought about it. Maybe this year, going back as a spectator and working at the event when their girls are out racing, maybe this year's going to be the hardest year for me there, because I'm going to see the girls racing and not actually be a part of it. So I actually think this year's going to be tougher on me emotionally than what last year was, because last year was just such a hoot, just so much fun. Every night was a party for me. Yeah. So it wasn't...
You were spoilt rotten.
I was spoilt. So I didn't have a chance to really soak it in and think, shit, that's my very last one. So, it'll be interesting this year. But I think it's going to be the same at the end of this year as well, when I say that's it. Yeah. And I don't think I'll be tired, because by the end of the season I'll probably be thinking, thank God, that's it, great. Yeah. But come next January, when I'm ready to start getting into training again, I'm like, well, shit, there's no more racing. Yeah. Then it could be a different story. So it's going to be very interesting. And I think... you've heard, this is quite an interesting point. You've heard on the news lately with Thorpe and with Grant Hackett. Yeah. And, I feel really sorry for these guys, because they're right. There is nothing in place for people that have lived. They don't know nothing else except for being an elite athlete and travelling the world and training full time and being their own boss, so to speak. And there's no manual to tell you how to take retirement, how to get through it. And it's tough. I'm lucky I've got Justin. We've decided we're retiring together. Yeah. So I know that we're going to be able to help each other. I know that's going to be a huge thing for the both of us, that we can help each other through it. Yeah. But for a lot of these guys, no one can really truly understand, because they might not have partners that are elite athletes. You see it time and time again with these people retire. It's really tough. Really tough for them. Yeah. So it's something that we will start definitely talking about and managing, probably from halfway through the year. Yep. But I wish there were people out there, or the AIS in particular, would have services for these ex-athletes, because I think it's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the year's not over yet, so we will talk again several times throughout the year. But yeah, in terms of retirement, my prediction is you're just going to get really fat and lazy.
I'm too vain for that.
No, there's no chance in hell that's going to happen. But yeah, we'll be catching up throughout the year and looking forward to celebrating your career and your last year as a pro athlete.
That's basically how I'm taking every race. When I race tomorrow, yes, I'm going to give 100%, but it's going to be a celebration. Yeah. So, I'll be smiling out there the whole time, enjoying it. Yeah. And that's how I'm going to approach every race this year like that. Yeah. It's going to be good fun.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, darling.
Done.
See you guys.